atheist.org, and we wanted to find some of the top contradictions that atheist.org has on there. Activism tab, and down at the bottom it says resources. You can click on there, contradictions of the Bible. Right. And that's where we're at. There are some legitimately good questions, right? And so we kind of picked the best ones, ones that could actually appear to be a contradiction. And so we're gonna discuss those because these are things that could legitimately cause somebody to question or wonder. The first one is seeing God. So I'm going to read right here off their website. This is what they have on their website. Seeing God. I have seen God face to face, and my life is preserved. This is from Genesis 32:30, and of course that's Jacob. He's wrestling with God, and the angel of the Lord wouldn't let go. The story. And he gets his hip smote and he walks around limp the rest of his life. Anyway, clearly, I've seen the face of God, right? Then you go and look to John 1:18, and simply says, no man has seen God at any time. Well, hey, seems like a contradiction, right?
It does seem that way.
If that's the only two verses you ever read in your Bible, seems like a contradiction. But is it?
Mm-hmm. So the beautiful thing here is that the Apostle John sits down to write this perspective of the gospel. He has already spent a few years with Jesus. He's seen all the miracles. He believes. In fact, he even says in this gospel, the whole point of me writing, the purpose of this book, is so that you will believe. Okay, believe what? Well, believe that Jesus is God. And that he is actually taking care of the problem of sin, through his shed blood on the cross and things. And he talks about the resurrection. I mean, there's no point in John, the Gospel of John, that you would think that he does not believe this is God. This is the whole point. And so when he says, no one has ever seen God, the only God who's at the Father's side, he has made him known, okay, we have to understand that he's probably not just saying that God in any form has never been recognized. That would not be it. Now, Jacob had a really cool thing. He wrestles with the angel of the Lord, which would be Jesus Christ himself, I'd say. It was definitely God, though. He says, I've seen God face to face. So he named the place Peniel, which means face of God. But was that God's face in his full glory, his true form? No, it was not. So his true form, that's 1 Timothy 6:16. He dwells in unapproachable light. In 1 Kings 8, he dwells in a thick darkness. He's always surrounded by these cherubim described in Ezekiel 1 and Ezekiel 10, fantastic creatures and things. There's all sorts of things going on around the throne room of God even. No one has seen that. No one has seen it. Not God in his true, full glory. And I think of if I were to take the stage as an actor and I were to dress up as somebody else, it's still me. You point and say, there's Joel right there. But I might have the pillow in the back for the hunch, some makeup on, some hat, a cloak that's kind of disguising me a bit. It's still me, but I have this veil over me, so you don't really see me as I normally am. So the same thing with Jesus Christ. He has a veil over his glory. He was not him as he normally would be. He became flesh. He became a servant. All that sort of thing. So I think that I can see where there's a confusion there, but even by John's own words, there's no way he actually thinks that no one would ever see God in any form.